Sure, you saw the shocking video over the weekend of Shedeur Sanders being prank called. The callers posing as the Saints general manager, leading Shedeur to believe that he was being drafted by the Saints. Well, it turns out one of the kids involved is the son of Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich. The Falcons confirming today that Jax Ulbrich came across the contact information on his father's unlocked iPad. Jeff Ulbrich did not know about any of this until the prank call came to light. The Falcons have apologized to Shedeur and his family. The Falcons went on to say, "We have also been in contact with the NFL and will continue to cooperate fully with any inquiries we may receive from the NFL league office. We are thoroughly reviewing all protocols and updating if necessary to help prevent an incident like this from happening again." Now,
the bad bit question is, why Shedeur Sanders fell off by the first round over Cam Ward, Travis Hunter? Gay.
Reggie Bush, USC, superstar, perfect running back. Yo, nigga said he won't smoke. You know he want none of that. Told her that I'm about to come. Asked her what she wanted at. She said, you know damn well exactly who I wanted at. I brought you niggas for dinner. Your family raised in the center.
What the guy, Kenny Chris back on the video, and I'm talking about the man I know about Shedeur Sanders. Last past Thursday, last week, on Thursday night, the first time we saw what happened was Cam Ward joining the Tennessee Titans. Travis Hunter joins the Jaguars, and Abdul Carter headed the Dolphins. But I don't know. But what else is new? And now, Shedeur Sanders fell off to the 5th round. All the people know about what happened to Shedeur Sanders? Did he get picked today? Or somebody else here? Oh no, he didn't get picked. He fell down on the 5th round pick. And then all of a sudden, we didn't know about this trickery, this stuff, and this shit is happening. The Falcons then call on Shedeur Sanders. And then, some bad reason, Shedeur Sanders prank call, Falcons coach something caught red-handed. And why didn't you know Shedeur Sanders dropped to the 5th round? The draft night ain't no joke, man, but this has happened before. The very first day, it was their fault. The NFL's fault because, about, and they last long here. More or less, the Falcons should pick Shedeur Sanders. But not the Falcons, the Browns. The Browns picked him. And why is that? I'm going to answer what happens if this happens.
DC. First, the Falcons put out a statement this morning saying, earlier in the week, Jack Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an iPad while visiting his parents' home and wrote the number down and later conduct a prank call. Jeff Ulbrich was unaware of the data exposure and any facet of the prank and was made aware of the above only after the fact. Atlanta Falcons do not condone this behavior and send our sincere apologies to Shedeur Sanders and his family, who we've been in contact with to apologize to, as well as facilitate an apology directly from Jack to the Sanders family. We have also been in contact with the NFL and will continue to cooperate fully with any inquiries we may receive from the NFL league office. We are thoroughly reviewing all protocols and updating if necessary to help prevent an incident like this from happening again. Falcons. Jack posted an apology on Friday night. I made a tremendous mistake. Shedeur, what I did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. I'm so sorry I took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish. I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake, and I messed with that moment. Thank you for accepting my call earlier today. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. At Shedeur Sanders. Ocho, is this apology enough, or should the Falcons punish? Well, I don't know how they can punish the son. They might punish the dad. Should they get Dr. draft pick? So if you were to punish the Falcons, how do you punish them? And should they be punished first? And if you are going to punish them, what should the punishment be?
I mean, listen. I say if you're gonna punish him, to some extent, I would say it would have to come from the dad. Obviously, it was a son. It was the son that made the call. Obviously, dad. I'm not sure how the son got the number. Who knows? But the punishment should come from the dad. Maybe a fine of some sort. I think draft picks would be a little bit too much because the team itself as a whole shouldn't have to suffer for what the son decided to do. Outside of that, the apology, I mean, at that moment, sincere. At that point, it seems sincere, especially being that it was written from someone else, and it's a bunch of you know what. Did he really mean it? No. The fact that he got caught is the only reason he's apologizing.
Bro,
his son, Jack Obrick, was apologized for what they did happen to Shedeur Sanders for the 5th round draft pick, but this is the happening for. The moment I seen was a bad day for him. This was a bad decision to make. What they did is set the same fate. And I swear to God, son, you don't know how the hell it's gonna happen. I mean, how? How the hell you know about to get a prank call on Shedeur Sanders? The Browns made the call on Shedeur Sanders to choose this man to pick. Remember why the show Washington got hurt? I mean, DTR got hurt. I mean, James Wood got traded. James Wood got traded. Okay, so I was saying this. Hear me out for it. The Falcons had the audacity to see what happens. The Falcons did what I would do. They had a lot of players here. But they got Michael Penix Jr. because Kirk Cousins actually lost because he still got a quarterback in hand. But you know why I did actually was saying this? It's this why. Why the hell is Shedeur Sanders had a draft an experience like this? For all purposes, you never seen this man fell off of the biggest draft I've ever seen. The Saints got serious draft, and you haven't seen it. I'm gonna see it more in the podcast. I was seeing what they talking about. I gotta hear what they're saying.
With Shedeur falling that low, I thought it was all calculated. I thought it was definitely conspiracy. I thought that it came across like a lot of owners were involved to say we're not gonna do this. So you know how people say kill two birds with one stone? I think they kill like 5 birds with one stone. The first thing I think this is about, I mean, which most people know, this is about Deion, but even more intricate than that, I think is more about trying. I'm gonna give you something that people normally wouldn't say. There's sometimes people do stuff like this to turn the son against the father, make them feel like, well, Deion got this money and now look at you. So what worked for him doesn't work for you, and kind of have you thinking a certain way. I pray that doesn't happen, but that's a lot of times what people do. They try to divide and conquer. So
on to say X, Y, Z, etc. But when Archie Manning did it, when Eli Manning, it was all good. When Archie Manning said, who's Eli and Peyton's father, not Archie Manning that plays in Texas. Archie Manning, who plays in Texas, grandfather name is Archie, just to be clear to the audience. Archie Manning Sr., which I would say is Eli and Peyton's father. And when Eli came to the NFL, he said Eli will not play for no West Coast teams. And he didn't. He ended up going to the Giants, but he basically said that. And Deion kind of said something similar, not to that effect, but they was like, oh, you're not the Manning family. You're the Sanders. And we're going to teach you guys a lesson because listen, after Shedeur ended up going to Cleveland, it seemed like, okay, cool, I bet. Because a bunch of other Colorado players started getting picked, not just picked after the draft was over, signing deals, like shout out to Shiloh as well, end up signing with Tampa Bay. And then you had other teams with North Carolina. It's like 6 players from Colorado that ended up either getting drafted in the 6th round or doing deals after the draft was over.
Okay, I agree with you. The Sanders family he doing good, but it's standard. I would say yeah, but the Sanders family did actually do a great job. I mean, Shiloh Sanders, Quentin Tampa Bay. I mean, he's a pretty good player, also to be good. But Shedeur, hey, he's a good quarterback. But that's pretty good starting run here. Starting run over the team, I would say I pride myself. I pride myself for the good time Shedeur Sanders is, and he ought to be good every day of our team so far. The very first day with the NFL is why did Shedeur Sanders did what he had to do. To fill the 5th round. And his family is proud of himself. So, that's a good reason for him. But Shedeur could be in now because he's on the 5th round. And, Stephen A. Smith, why is this shame on me? Why is Stephen A. Smith saying this shit? Every time an NFL draft did say it.
And Dart was considered the 2nd best quarterback in January. Sanders was just picked by the Cleveland Browns as the 144th selection of the 5th round overall. Shedeur wasn't drafted in round 1 on Thursday. He wasn't drafted on Friday during rounds 2 and 3, and teams passed on him again earlier this afternoon in round 4. So here's a look at all the quarterbacks that have been taken so far. Cam Ward went number 1 overall at Tennessee. Then the Giants picked Jackson Dart with the 25th overall pick, a pick they moved up to get, by the way. They moved up to get that pick. Round 2 began last night, and the first quarterback taken was Tyler Shuck, who went to the New Orleans Saints with the 40th overall pick. Then in round 3 to Seattle, the Seahawks took Jalen Milroe from Alabama with the 92nd overall pick. And then 2 picks later, the Cleveland Browns selected Dillon Gabriel with the 94th overall pick in the 3rd round. And there were no more quarterbacks taken on Friday. So those are the 5 quarterbacks that went ahead of Shedeur Sanders. And before I give you my feelings on this, I want to show you the 5 quarterbacks the Browns now have on their roster. The quarterback room now includes Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, the aforementioned Dillon Gabriel, Deshaun Watson, who is injured with his Achilles tear, and of course now Shedeur Sanders. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's bad when the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is pushing out tweets about how corrupt it is. I mean, think about that. President Donald Trump is pulling out tweets about how corrupt it is and how these owners look absolutely stupid or ill-advised. I have to say, let me tell you something right now. This is some bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say that while in the same breath conceding and acknowledging that Shedeur Sanders is not blameless here. Primetime Deion Sanders is not blameless here. I'm going to say what I have to say, knowing that both of them have their hands at least a little bit dirty in all of this. But if you're the National Football League, okay, clearly it's not about talent anymore. It's about something else. And I'm going to tell you, I spent a large amount of the last 24 hours thinking about nothing more than I was thinking about collusion. Because how in the hell does 32 teams in the National Football League pass on a quarterback that was universally recognized one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country entering this draft, and 32 teams passed on him? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times they passed on him. How the hell does that happen?
How? How did it happen? You did it. How did it happen? Here's the up and up. All right? Here's the up and up. Okay? This is what happened. I don't blame Jackson Dart, who's on the Giants, because Jackson Dart is pretty good on this team by my ad. And I was talking about the football 21, Makai. I was sorry about that. I just don't know you're a Giants fan, but of course you are too. And Todd, please, you go right now. I know you're a Giants fan too, but still, I know the Giants have the great professional stats. But I was trying to follow great stats in the draft. I'm gonna see a list of the draft because it was so unhappy at this time special. The very first day on the draft, if I would see this, I'm going to show you this NFL draft is on the final grade. But you got to give it credit is due. On the final grade, I'm going to see. If I'm crying out of the business report, let me see here. If I were cracking out a business report, it's every grade I found. So, let me see. I'm gonna see. There. They got a cornerback, offensive tackle, wide receiver, linebacker, and running back. It does not matter because the Bengals had a hell of a draft because they had Jamal Stewart in the team. Panthers are pretty good here, but let's be real for this one. Falcons got no quarterback, but if I got no quarterback, nope. They got none. They got none there. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got Will Howard from Ohio State, Jack Sawyer, defensive lineman, Cam Johnson. But they got 3 quarterbacks on this team. You got Sky Thompson. You got Mason Whack-A-Mole Rudolph. And you got Will Howard. 3 of the Steelers quarterbacks. So let me get it straight. There's no Aaron Rodgers to sign. All you can sign Aaron Rodgers from the Pittsburgh Steelers just yet. Man's be 41. And for that, you brought the defensive lineman over Shedeur Sanders?
What are we doing? What are we doing? Even if you didn't buy into the hype and all of the media attention of Shedeur Sanders, we don't have a quarterback. Literally, what's the worst that could happen at this point? Oh man, we don't have a winning season. We weren't projected to have one anyway. And most people would probably want to mess around and tank or something of that nature so we can stop being in the perpetual winning season of 10-7 and 9-8. But we choose a D lineman, and no disrespect to that young man. I hope he goes on to have a prosperous career. But we passed on a quarterback for what? Our quarterback room is Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph. Chris Boswell might be throwing passes this year. What are we doing? Release us from the genjutsu that we just so happen to be caught underneath because every single move this offseason makes no sense. We traded to get DK Metcalf. We've got George Pickens, if I'm not mistaken, entering the final year of his contract, or maybe he has a 5th-year option, whatever the case may be. We have wide receivers that don't have a quarterback to throw them the football. And we about to bank the future, the foreseeable future, on a 41-year-old man who needs crack in order to make it through an offseason, who don't even know if he wants to play football anymore. Or perhaps, what about if Kirk Cousins becomes available? A man who don't got no Achilles. We waiting on quarterbacks who don't got no motherfucking Achilles. This what we doing? Is this what we're doing? What kind of general manager kind of thought process is this? What kind of head coach sort of thought process is this? We could take a quarterback, even if it's not Shedeur, and we go Jackson Dart. Whichever one it may be, if it falls flat and shit don't work out, okay, we worked you whatsoever. We sitting here with dicks in our hands. We might trot out 70-plus-year-old Terry Bradshaw to go throw the motherfucking football. Big Ben is a podcaster. He might as well come out here and throw the motherfucking football. This is ridiculous. What are we doing, son? 21, right there for you. Stars align. The very same number in which his father wore to enshrine himself into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We could have got Shedeur. Or if we want to go and go Jackson Dart, we could have went there too. But oh no, fuck the quarterback position. We got wide receivers. Nobody got to throw them the football. They can throw the ball to themselves. The center snaps the ball into the ethos. Somehow the football makes it to the wide receiver. Touchdown Steelers. We lose 28-13. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing?
I said it once, say it again. This is the biggest draft slide of all history. Say this once. This is the biggest draft slide I ever seen. The first time I ever saw was Shedeur Sanders. Man think he is all that. And I don't blame this young man. I don't blame these young guys who cares about the team who gets ready to play. But May 14th, on the NFL draft, at the NFL draft, and the NFL undrafted, we got a schedule release. This is gonna be a toughest schedule release I've ever seen. You saw the Commanders have February playoffs. They won the Finland championship. You saw what they did. You saw You saw Jalen Hurts gave him a touch puss and gave him a victory, right?
Let me in your world, you know. That's why this boy looking lonely, you know, boy, that's why I wanna be.
And then you see the Chiefs choked away Lawrence's time in. But I know this time, somebody's going to dethrone the Eagles. The Eagles might be going to dethrone them. Eagles might lose again in the playoffs, but this is Will's happening. I'm foreshadowing. We'll see what happens next on the grandest days of all, Super Bowl. Comment down below how you feel about Shedeur Sanders and how you feel about the draft over the past week. Comment down below how you guys feel. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and hit over the bell. You don't miss any channels. You ain't gonna miss what I'm gonna watch. More Kitty with Shadow on TV. My contact next time with the next video. Peace, one love, and I am out. All right, y'all next time. See ya. What everybody saying?
Them niggas is ignorant.
You mean to tell me you watched the entire video but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to the Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm.
Do it! Just do it! Make your dreams come true! So just do it!
Please,